They laughed when she fell, and that was their first mistake. Because the woman they shoved into the mud wasn't a recruit. She was the one who could end their careers with a single word. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. It started on a wind-burned morning at Fort Garrison. The base was buzzing with routine drills, boots pounding the gravel, laughter echoing through the yard. Among the noise came a small figure, slender, quiet, carrying a duffel bag that looked too heavy for her frame. She wore no rank on her collar, just a standard-issue uniform and a calm, unreadable expression. To the soldiers standing near the barracks, she looked like an easy target. "Hey, rookie," one of them shouted. "You lost your babysitter?" Another smirked, nudging her shoulder as she passed. The shove was harder than it needed to be, enough to send her to the ground, dust clouding around her. The laughter that followed was sharp, cutting, and cruel. She didn't shout back. She didn't even frown. She simply brushed the dirt from her sleeve and looked up. And for a split second, her eyes locked with theirs. There was something in them they couldn't place. A stillness. Authority. Like someone who'd seen worse than this. Far worse. She stood slowly. "Names," she said quietly. "I'd like your names." They laughed again, louder this time. "You don't get names till you earn 'em, newbie." But deep down, something uneasy stirred. Hours later, word spread like wildfire. The new Base Admiral was arriving today. A woman transferred from overseas command. The same soldiers who mocked the new girl lined up for inspection, straightening uniforms, nervous energy crawling under their skin. Then came the silence. The heavy doors of the command hall swung open. And there she was, the same woman they'd knocked into the dirt, walking with the slow, deliberate steps of someone completely in control. Her cap now bore the insignia of an admiral. The sunlight caught the silver, and every man in that yard froze like statues. No one spoke. Even the wind seemed to pause. Her voice broke the silence, low and calm. "Earlier today," she began, "a few soldiers decided to welcome what they believed was a new recruit. I commend their enthusiasm, but not their judgment." A murmur rippled through the ranks. One of the men, the tallest among those who'd mocked her, swallowed hard. His knuckles turned white around the edge of his cap. "I've seen arrogance destroy more units than war ever could," she continued, "and I've seen humility rebuild what pride tried to ruin. So I'll give you a choice. Learn what kind of base this will be, or be replaced by someone who already knows." The air felt electric. No one dared move. And yet something shifted, not out of fear, but out of respect. The men who had laughed now stood straighter, eyes lowered, shame burning in silence. Later that evening, as the sun dipped below the training fields, she stood alone near the flagpole, her gaze distant. A young private approached quietly, not one of those who mocked her, but one who had watched in silence that morning. "Ma'am," he said hesitantly, I think they'll learn from this." She smiled faintly. "So will I," she replied. "Because strength isn't proven by striking back. It's proven by standing firm and staying kind." By morning, the entire base seemed different. Orders were sharper, camaraderie was real, and the once arrogant soldiers now worked with a humility that hadn't existed before. Rumor had it, the new admiral had led a rescue mission years ago, one that cost her her rank temporarily, and half her team. But no one ever spoke of it aloud. They only knew this, when she looked at them. It wasn't with anger, it was with understanding, and quiet power. Because real authority doesn't shout. It simply stands, unshaken. And sometimes, the one who falls first, is the one everyone ends up following. Because respect isn't demanded, it's earned moment by moment, when no one's watching. And just like that morning's dust, her quiet strength settled over the base, and never lifted. If this story moved you, hit that like button, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribe for more powerful untold stories. Right here on Relieved Stories.